my name is Kayla Rodriguez.
Hi, my name is Haley Brown.
I'm a 24-year-old
I'm Cuban.
Afro-Latina queer person.
And I'm bisexual.
I recently moved to Atlanta, so I'm brand new.
What activities do you do to nurture all the different parts of your identity?
I definitely try to come together with people in my community who definitely struggle with the same things I do.
So to nurture my identity, it's also very important to have verbal education. It doesn't have to necessarily be like on a podium, like addressing people, but just in casual conversation, if somebody says something that I feel is problematic, I'm going to correct them. I'm not going to allow them to continue on in life thinking that way.
I think we need to do more research on how it's different here based on gender roles and how it's different where I come from.
Because an important part to me of also my activism is accessibility, and I feel like even if it's in a small way, such as just putting in like a little thought into somebody, even if they forget it later, I feel like down the line something will be different because somebody actually said to them something different, and they can't ever say, oh, I never knew that, because they have had someone address that to them. So even if they don't, become an activist or some outspoken ally, I feel like even that little tidbit is very important, and that helps me a lot too.
And gender roles, like here, it's very masculinity and femininity is something very big here, and I think we definitely need to look at the differences between gender roles and how we manifest these gender roles in our everyday life.
What's your favorite part about yourself?
That's such a loaded question.
My favorite part about myself is
I guess I would say just my ability to address details in people and give a kind of unique and sometimes intense attention to people.
Definitely that. I'm very compassionate.
Because for me, a lot of my politics and a part of my identity is really understanding the different parts of people.
I don't fight for just myself. I like to fight for others.
And where they come from, what experience they have that led them to view the world the way that they do.
Because I like to stand up for people.
So an important part, or my favorite part of my identity, is just being able to address those things.
And I just want to be a source of change.
In everyone that I encounter, just because I want to give that same attention that I would want. Something I wish more people knew about being Latina in the United States.
I think people should really know.
I know for me, growing up, being Black and Puerto Rican,
that there's a whole Latin American diaspora.
I don't speak Spanish.
Everybody thinks, oh, they're just from Mexico.
So a lot of times, my Latin identity would get dismissed.
That people come from all different places.
Because first off, I'm not, I'm light skinned, but I'm not olive skin. I don't have silky hair, so I don't already look like I would be Puerto Rican. But then having the language thing on top of that it alienated me in certain spaces.
There's a whole big spectrum.
And it didn't take me getting to the age I am now, being comfortable in owning myself and not being defined by other people. So I just wish people knew that being Black and being Latina is a thing, and it's not weird. Most of Latin America is Black, so I wish people knew that or understood.
What's something irritating people do when they find out that you're Latinx, queer, or both?
They're always oh, can I see you hook up with a girl? Or do you hook up with bad girls? girls, and I'm like, I hook up with who I love, who I find a connection with, and that's just how it goes.
Something people do when they find out I'm Latina is the first thing they ask is if I speak Spanish. And when I say no, they say that, so I'm not actually like Latina. They say like, oh, you don't count. Or they have some kind of like, what kind of Latina are you? Like, you don't speak Spanish. And most of the time this is people that aren't even Latina, like, which makes me mad more because I'm just like, you're not even in my community, so for you to judge me like that is out of place. Nobody ever, like, my Afro-Latina identity, my queer identity, they don't really have like there's nothing anybody ever addresses with that. I would just say that even in the queer relationships that I have, and you would expect that being with other queer people, they would kind of have an understanding of internalized notions of identity and would be receptive to challenge that. But I have noticed that in my queer relationships, sometimes people try and get Spanish out of me, like in my intimate moments. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but essentially try to get me to say something in Spanish during sex, which to me is always uncomfortable, just because to have me kind of be challenged in that moment, or have me be expected to be a certain kind of person in that vulnerable space, can be very troubling for me. But at the same time, like, I understand that we're all like deconstructing the internalized stuff that we have inside. But in that sense, I would say that's the only way that being Afro-Latina and queer like brings up any issue.
What is some advice that you'd give your 8-year-old self?
Okay, something I would tell myself at 8 and then 18. At 8, I would tell myself that how would I describe this? When I was 8, I know for me, I felt like as part of my identity, the only thing I had was my last name, which is Rodriguez. But I guess I would tell myself at 8 that I'm more than my last name, and I have more than just the name that comes from my father. Like, I have culture running through me, like I have history, even if I don't recognize it at the time. Like, who I am as a person is vital to that identity in itself. And I will be significant one day. I don't know if I'll understand that at 8, but I would try and say that to myself, that like I'm more than just my last name. And then at 18, what's I doing at 18? At 18, I guess I would tell myself that it's okay that I don't know Spanish. I would say that I'm still Puerto Rican, even if I don't speak it. And I would say that anybody that tries to challenge me on that, then I should just tell them to go away, because they don't matter. And I would just try and remind myself not to let anybody define who I am, because I define who I am.
I would say continue doing what you love. Just really live for yourself and don't really think about what others say about you or how they view you,